Hello and welcome to another episode of the Farr Show, where I'm Damian Farr, and tonight we're talking about, is it really not, do you really not know what it is? Oh god, it's falling off. So these are made for kids. This is a McDonald's thing, so let's just kick it off right away here before I hurt myself in some way, which I did before almost filming this. So let's start off here before I forget. Hopefully you're having a Merry Christmas. If you're watching this on Wednesday, the day it comes out, what are you doing? I filmed this prior too, so this isn't Christmas Day. So, really, what are you doing? So, we're gonna talk about Star Wars. I mean, is it really needed to really say we're talking about Star Wars tonight? Because, come on. We're gonna talk Star Wars. We're talking the new movie. No spoilers. No spoilers whatsoever, as you could tell by that sweet intro I made. So, I'd give this movie an FAR. I know what you're saying, Damian, why an FAR? Well, a lot of people don't like this movie. I actually really enjoy it. I think it was good. The only thing I'm going to say is it retconned some things from 8, which made perfect sense to me. I'm like, fine. I like your idea. So, perfect. So, it's the end. Most likely for like 20 years until Disney is like, hey, we're going to make more because we want more money. Which, they're going to get a lot of money off of Star Wars, but that's not important. They want more money. So, that's probably what's going to happen is like 20 years. They're going to do another passing of the torch type movie, kind of like The Force Awakens was. So, we'll see what happens then. But I think, overall, this movie was good. I think it was a good ending to the sequel trilogy, a good ending to the saga, personally. But that's me. So, what do you think about this movie? Tell me in the comments below. Now, I'm going to rank all the Star Wars movies. So, I'm really going to stay on the main cam for the most part here. And they're going to all be listed right here as they come up. So, let's start here. The worst movie for Star Wars here. Easy one to get out of the way. Attack of the Clones. I just don't like anything about this movie. It's cool, the Jedi battle at the end, but really, I don't like this movie. I can't get over that I don't like the movie at all. Like, that's all there is to say. I can't stand this movie. This is the one where I'm just like, there's nothing that I want to watch of this movie. I don't know what it is. I wish I could say I love this movie. The writing's terrible. You can tell a lot of the scenes were written on the way to the shoot because it doesn't make any sense. The acting isn't the greatest. Natalie Portman doesn't do good. Hayden Christensen doesn't do good. Pretty much the whole movie is terrible. Ewan McGregor does okay. And Count Dooku is useless. So, that's all there is to say about that one. The Phantom Menace. I'd give an F as a while here. There is one redeeming factor. One redeeming factor other than Darth Maul. And that's pod racing, because they made a game out of it. So, whoever made the pod racing game, or Disney, get somebody to make pod racing with VR. I want that. Really, other than, you know, like I said, the pod racing scene and Darth Maul fight at the end, it was a terrible movie. Solo: A Star Wars Story. This is a movie we legitimately just didn't need. I didn't need to see how he got the name Solo. Though, you know, I guess it makes sense. He was alone, so Han Solo. That's stupid. Really stupid. The only redeeming factor for this movie, and the only reason I would say it's an F, is Donald Glover as Lando was perfect. Don't get me wrong, Aaron Edgereich was pretty good as Han Solo, but still, didn't need this movie. I want Lando a Star Wars story eventually, so Disney, get on it. Episode 8, The Last Jedi. This is where they get a little better, so it's an FA. I like this movie, to be honest, to an extent. The throne room scene is some of the best things we've seen. But, once again, there's some things that are retconned with the new movie because it just didn't make sense. Like, what? How? They never explained it in the new one either. How did she, you know, use the Force when she was blowing up in a ship and just floating in space for like a minute? People don't live that. I get it's a movie, but I can't suspend that much disbelief. I can suspend disbelief like, oh, we have laser swords and blasters, but people can't be out in space for a minute and a half and just be like, I'm good. I didn't freeze to death or lack of oxygen. That's just me, though. Then we got Return of the Jedi, which I give an FAR. Return of the Jedi is the worst of the original trilogy, to be honest. It's good, but I don't like the Endor scenes, really, other than Han Solo. And Chewie were great. But the Ewoks, to be honest, find the Ewoks really annoying. That's just me. The Jawa's Palace scene, the original version of Jawa's Palace was pretty sweet. I think the special editions where they got all the CGI characters are kind of stupid. It's one of my major gripe with the actual re-releases and special editions. Those CGI characters, just no. Then we're gonna skip up to Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which I thought was great as well. I really love this movie. It's the first war movie of Star Wars, and I love it. It's such a good movie. Like, the more I watch this movie, the more I like it. That's all there is to say about that one, really. The cast is good. You do know what's going to happen. It is them just getting the Death Star planes and them, spoiler, dying. But it was cool how they did it. I liked it. I'd give it an FAR. Then, The Rise of Skywalker. I know what you're thinking. Damian, you're putting that one pretty high for a Star Wars fan. Well, once again, it is the end of the series. So, personally, I thought it was good. I really liked it. The more I watch this one, too, I'm more enjoying it, type of a thing. So, really, I think that's all there is to say about that one. A New Hope is an FAR. I love A New Hope as well. To be honest, these three could all be swapped here and there. I'm on the fence. A New Hope, well, great. There's some limitations. Rise of Skywalker, there is some issues. Like, it's pretty much 2.5 movies rolled into one movie instead of just, 2.5 movies that should have been made. So, that's personal preference. But A New Hope started all. I'm just going to call it Star Wars from now on because it's Star Wars, not A New Hope, but that's not important. Then we're getting up here where these are the FARR movies. These are the best ones in my opinion. Actually, ironically enough, one from each trilogy. So, we got The Force Awakens, which is the one that I've seen the most in theaters. I saw this movie 6 times. 1 time in 3D and 1 time in IMAX. I thought it was pretty good. I get that it's a rehashing of A New Hope, but it's A New Hope with a soft reboot, to be honest. It reboots a little bit of the series, And I thought it was good. I like the characters that came from it. I really like Rise of Skywalker because their characters are really fleshed out more. I mean, in this one, they're kind of bland, but that makes sense because they didn't have time to flesh them out, really. So I'm okay with that. This one's going to be really high for a lot of people as well. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This is the best prequel. The other prequels, This is the best prequel. This is the first movie I saw of Star Wars in the theaters, and I love it. I think it's the best prequel. I love this movie. What is there to say? The General Grievous fight, amazing. The Count Dooku fight, amazing. The Kashyyyk scenes, well, not really needed, amazing. The Darth Sidious and Yoda fight, great. Anakin and Obi-Wan, great. The assault on the Jedi Temple, great. The actual love story and the acting, great. This movie is the best of the prequels. Like, it is good. I have a bias because I saw this one in theaters, but I really love this movie. This is the one I'd recommend seeing of all the prequels. See this one. And now we're just going to put honorable mentions in here because I didn't talk about the animated Clone Wars movie. Didn't talk about Holiday Special or anything like that. Those ones I don't care about. This is all live action movies. Mandalorian, if it was a movie, would be in here for sure. Probably be around this top area of spots here. But we're going to put the Indiana Jones movies in here as well. I know what you're thinking. Damian, why? Well, you already know what number 1 is at this point. It's episode 5. Let's just be honest there. But when he's in Carbonite in between 5 and 6, what happens? What happens to Han Solo? Does he dream? I like to think he dreams. And he comes up with Indiana Jones. There's a lot of references to Indiana Jones, so I'll actually have a pinned comment down below where it'll be the link to the actual Star Wars Wikipedia page. I think it's Wikipedia. Where it talks about the simulators between Indiana Jones and Star Wars. All the references of Star Wars in Indiana Jones. Which kind of make it think, I like to think that's what he was. He was like in a coma or something, a suspended animation. And in the coma, he just dreamt up Indiana Jones. And passed the time. For him, it probably felt like hundreds of years, when it was only probably a couple months. But The Empire Strikes Back. This movie was great. I love it. It's the best one. It's the first one I watched, actually. I know that sounds weird. How did you watch this one first? Well, this is young Damian. 2004, he gets the trilogy of the 3. And he's like, he reads online because at this point, the internet's pretty new to him. He reads online that 5's the best. So he watches it and he's like, wow, this Star Wars thing, this is great. I need to get into this. And then I started watching all of them. I watched all of them, watched 3, loved it, and ever since then, this is probably my favorite movie series with the MCU, Indiana Jones, and probably James Bond. Indiana Jones, James Bond, and then I'd say Rocky, because Rocky 1 is my favorite movie of all time, and you all know that. So, what is your favorite Star Wars movies? Tell me in the comments below. Rank them down below, too. I'm really curious to see what other people have in mind for their favorite movies. My list is probably much different than yours, because I'm weird. I'm really weird. I'll say that right away. So, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.